Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Monday afternoon. Hope it's still going well. Hope it's still not too bad. We're talking a little bit around Jarrad Branthwaite and obviously this interest that's sort of been developing over the last few months in the young defender, but potentially it's only interest and not going to make a move. So we'll talk about the report from Team Talk around that, as well as interest in a different young English player at Everton in James Garner. So we'll talk a little bit about both of those guys. Give you a bit of an understanding who James is and all that jazz. You know what I normally do. Just want to say, if you're new, subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. And let's talk this report from Team Talk on Jarrad Branthwaite. And the headline from Samuel Bannister says, Tottenham gift Manchester United golden chance after shock U-turn over raid for elite Everton star as priority shift. Elite? That word gets thrown around too often. I wouldn't say it's elite. I say it's good. I say he's a good, very, very promising defender, but elite, I think, is a step too far. But it goes on to say that Tottenham have money to spend in the summer, but that doesn't mean they will pay up for Everton defender Jarrad Branthwaite, potentially leaving Manchester United in the clear. That's according to an update from Football Insider, suggesting Tottenham have quickly backtracked in the race for Jarrad Branthwaite, despite being recently listed on their shortlist ahead of the summer transfer window. Reports last week suggested Tottenham could sanction a big money move for Jarrad Branthwaite after being impressed with his rapid rise at Everton this season. I was at the gym having a little think about this one, and if we step away from the money side of things, so just think of him as the player. There's no money involved just yet. Very good player, a player that I think has all the ability of starting for England and getting, 50, 60, 70 caps for England. Genuinely, I see that trajectory being there. Quite a big defender, quite a strong defender, which I think as age goes by, they always say you get your man's body as the age goes on, and obviously he will get that. Good on the ball, athletic, for homegrown reasons, massive tick in the box. He was obviously homegrown, English, all that jazz, right? Very good. You have a situation, Hans. I think a lot of you guys have said this. A lot of Spurs fans have said this. Is he going to want to sit on the bench? Does he want to be a third or fourth centre back? Now, on that point, I get it. I absolutely get it. We, unfortunately, at Spurs have been conditioned to believing that you can only have two really good centre backs and you can have two all right centre backs who are absolutely the backups. We need to program ourselves to say, look, we're going to play 2 or 3 times a week next year. We need to be making sure that we have ability, that we go, Mickey and Kuti aren't playing this game, you two lads are in. And if you play really well, there's no reason why you can't dislodge them as the number one centre-back. But ideally, we want to look at the situation as it's rotation. We don't want to drop off from centre-back to centre-back. We saw at the weekend, the drop-off between our left-back and right-back to our backup left-back and backup right-back is bonkers. We've seen the drop-off sometimes in the midfield. You look at Maddison, Sarr and Basuma, as soon as we had issues in that midfield and Bentancur wasn't really fit yet, you were relying on Skip and Højbjerg, and there is a drop-off there. So you have to have this idea of, we weren't going to fix everything this year, in the summer and in January. We were never going to. There was way too many issues, way too many things that needed to be done. We needed a left-back, Destiny came in, that's fine. We needed centre-backs. We needed a goalkeeper. We needed midfielders. We needed attackers. We needed 15 odd players. And we still haven't finished that, by the way. I just want to make that point clear. We haven't finished it. We've got a lot more to do. But when you look at Jarrad Branthwaite and he's going to cost 50, 60, maybe even 70 million pounds, you're not spending that on an area where you are quite strong. And if you just add in that little bit more, you actually realise we're sorted there. And that's why I've always had this attitude of, Lloyd Kelly's there. He's free. He's homegrown. He's Prem proven. He's good enough to play this system. He's athletic, left-footed. All these things are ticking boxes. And some of you aren't massively keen on Lloyd Kelly. And I get that. You're not going to be keen on every player that I'm keen on, and vice versa. But it makes too much logical sense, because Spurs aren't spending 300, 400, 500 million this summer. They're not going to. As much as you think they should or want, or you think we have the ability to, we're never going to. No club, other than weirdly Chelsea, are going to spend that kind of money. I look at it and go, if you get Lloyd Kelly, it allows you to do something elsewhere that you didn't expect to do. Imagine that 50 million that we spend on Jarrad Branthwaite. Let's say it's 50. I think it might even be more, but let's say it's 50. that limits you elsewhere. Well, we can sell players and that's fine, but you're still limiting yourself. Whereas if you get Lloyd Kelly, I don't see a massive drop-off in ability between the two of them right this second. Branthwaite might have a higher upside, but I wouldn't say he's night and day ahead of Lloyd Kelly. But imagine you had that 50 million back in your back pocket and go, we need left back, we need a backup goalie, and we need a right back. Well, we still need a midfielder, and we need a specialist winger. Before you look at it and you go, we still need 5 or 6 players. You're not going to get them all this summer. But if you were to go, well, you know, we've got Ben Davies and Sessegnon and you know, Lloyd Kelly if you need to play him at left back. Maybe you get by there and you sell Emerson, for example. If you sold Emerson, you'll easily replace Emerson because Emerson, ironically, can get you some good money. But you need a backup goalie. Unless someone's coming through the system that you're really blown away with, which I don't know if there is or not. But you need another centre-back, you need a left-back, and you need a right-back, and you need another midfielder, and you probably need at least a couple of attackers. And I mean at least. Potentially a number 9, depending on what Alejo Veliz does at Sevilla, but you need a winger for sure. So you're looking at it, and I don't see Spurs getting 7 or 8 players this summer. I see them getting maybe 4, maybe 5. But I see a big exodus coming of players that just don't fit the system. And there's nothing to say that players who don't fit the system are bad players. They're not bad players. They're good players. Some of these players thrived with a Mourinho Conte style system. And that's why if they went to Italy, they'd thrive. But I was thinking about it with Emerson and you go, well, he doesn't really create a lot of opportunities or good enough opportunities. And in Conte's system, where it was like the fullbacks had to create a lot, we saw a lot of people were annoyed about it. You know, they thought he's not link-up play, he's not good enough. He doesn't create enough. And that's why I think you need a right back. But we shall see. But yeah, I don't see Jarrad Branthwaite being a guy. But if they weren't to go Jarrad Branthwaite, do they go James Garner? Let's talk about it. Ekrem Kanor said that Arsenal, Newcastle and Tottenham are monitoring the situation. Everton's 22-year-old English midfielder, James Garner. Let's have a look at his data. James David Garner, born March 13th, 2001. So he turns 23 in a few weeks. English midfielder, defensive / sort of central midfielder. Contract expires the summer of 2026. He's played 30 times this season. He's scored 2, assisted 1. He's played just under 2,600 minutes this season, which plenty of really good football for him. He was a guy when he was at Manchester United. This is where he was, by the way. If you don't know who James Garner, he was at Manchester United before he went to Everton. He was Kobe Mainoo before Kobe Mainoo. They were fuming they let James Garner go. I think a part of it was we can get 10, 15 million for him and it's all going to count towards our financial fair play. I think that was one of the big reasons for letting him go. He's done very well at Everton, very, very well at Everton. And we've seen him play against Spurs this season and I was really impressed with what I saw as well. I don't hate the move at all. I would wonder what the move would cost. You know, if they spent 10, 15 million on him, they're probably going to at least double that. And you're spending 30, if it's more than 30, absolutely not. But if it's 30, is that a point of conversation that you have and say, well, with the pre-season with Ange, does he develop into a midfielder that can really rival the boys in the midfield? Gallagher is there ready to go right now, but maybe you go, oh, we can save a bit of money. We think he is the same ability as Gallagher, or with a pre-season, he is the same ability as Gallagher. Maybe you can say, actually, he could be the 6 and Bentancur moves into an 8. Potentially that's the idea. I don't know. I don't hate the idea. I'd love to know the sort of ins and out of that sort of situation. But he's been very good for Everton this year, and he's been one of the strongest parts of that midfield with Onana and Idris Gana Gueye. I don't see it, but I don't hate it. I think if you're looking at Branthwaite is going to cost double what a Garner's going to cost, and Everton are going to be more likely to move on Garner than they would Branthwaite, I'm interested. I don't know. I'm interested. I want to know what this midfield list looks like. So I think Edison's on there. I think Gallagher's on there. I think Garner's potentially on there. I think Gibbs White's potentially on there. I'd love to know who else is on this list, because obviously with Spurs, they always have about 10 people on a list per position, depending if things go well or wrong in deals and things fall through and things pop up, you know, all that jazz. But anyway, guys, at the end of the video, I hope you did enjoy it. Drop a like on the video if you did. Hit me in the comment section below your thoughts and opinions about Spurs doing a U-turn on Jarrad Branthwaite, as well as the interest in his Everton co-star in James Garner. Any thoughts and opinions about that? Subscribe if you're new and hit the bell notification for more. But anyway, guys, at the end of the video, I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.